Hello, everybody, and welcome to OpenExO Live. It is great to be with you. We had a few little technical difficulties, so starting a little bit late, but it is great to be here. And this week we have Ann Reilly with us from Barcelona, and you can see there the amazing people coming up. We do still have a gap on the 16th of February, and so if you are interested in being on OpenExO Live, do let me know or apply in the marketplace. It'll be great to have you on the show. And before we get Ann up, I do have a few words from some community members. And the first one comes from Beth. And she just said, Ann has been a part of the OpenExO ecosystem as a coach and a trainer for over 4 years. During this time, she has demonstrated her true belief in technology for good and the ability to harness abundance and build 10x business models with positive impact. She has led numerous sprints for OpenExO, Cataluña's agency for business competitiveness, and promotes OpenExO to help create partnerships like the involvement in the Festival of Consciousness and the relationship with AQAI, focusing on adaptability. Ann impresses me with her continuous learning mindset, her ability to connect people, and her listening skills that allow her to uncover opportunities for individuals, organizations that she works with. Next, we have from Xavi. Ann is one of those rare people that enjoy giving without expecting anything in return. She's also a selfless and highly purpose-oriented woman. I really enjoyed collaborating with her in the organization of the Festival of Consciousness. Her help connecting us with some key participants was instrumental in the success of the event. We then have from Dora. The first quality that comes to mind when I think of Ann is inspirational, because she doesn't just talk about what is important to her, she always acts upon it. This had a powerful impact on the people she led at various phases of her career, including myself, and continues to thrive in purposeful communities like OpenExO, where she continues to add value as an authentic and forward-thinking individual. And then lastly, from Lars, I've been looking forward to enjoy the conversation between Ann and Kevin on OpenExO Live. Ann and I share many EXO memories from our time in the OpenExO core team and later on our own joint sprint projects. If you want to combine international sales superpowers with sprint experience and a mindset of abundance, then meet Ann. Go, Ann and Kevin. And so with that, I want to welcome Ann up on screen. Ann, welcome. How are you doing this evening?
Hey, thanks, Kevin. Nice to see you. I'm doing even better after hearing all of that. So thank you, everyone, for those nice and generous comments.
It's always great hearing what people have to say. And it is quite tough trying to find who to ask and then how many to put up, right? Because we can't spend the whole 20 minutes just with those. And that could have been the case here with you. So, and for those people who've never heard of Ann, maybe new people in the community, maybe folks that are seeing this for the first time, can you share a little bit about yourself? Tell us about your background and also how you came to join the OpenExO community.
Sure, thank you. So I had a career in international sales, as Lars pointed out there, and I'm from the US originally, as you can probably tell, and I worked in the US and in Asia and then in Europe, and I'm calling in from Barcelona right now. And I worked in large companies and startups. And through that experience, I discovered that I really love building teams. I love to work on common goals and find diversified teams with different strengths and cross-cultural teams as well. I kind of thrive in cross-cultural teams. And I really love to, help people grow and succeed. I love to empower people and just have that joint success through leveraging everybody's strengths and solving problems together. I also learned through that experience that I get really frustrated when the ship gets too big and that the rules or the processes become too restrictive and start to hamper growth, I would say. So I, after that work experience more in corporate and international sales life, I had one of those moments where I hit the wall. I was, I needed a change. I needed to find something new. And I was actually talking to Beth de Avila, who gave one of those great comments. And she introduced me to Karina. And Karina then suggested I read Salim's book, Exponential Organizations. And then we could talk. And so I read that and was super interested in it for many reasons. And one of them was that, Salim talks about the corporate immune system. And that was what I felt like I had experienced, multiple times in my career. And for me, it, manifested in that I felt like there were, people and processes that rose up to crush innovation in companies and crush ideas. And it was just a bit, demotivating. And, there's so much great, great minds and great ideas in companies. And sometimes they just get thrown to the side because, we need to do it this way because that's the way we do it. And so that really spurred my interest in finding out more about exponential organizations and OpenExO. So I joined the community and I got certified as a EXO coach and trainer. And then I joined the core team for a while. So really, really dove into it. And, it did, those conversations and reading the book and getting involved in the community really did change the trajectory of, my career and what I'm focusing on now. So it's been a super great experience.
That's really great to hear. I mean, we pretty much, I think, joined the community around about the same time, right? And I think we were on the same coach cohorts and right. And in fact, you've actually been on OpenExO Live, the first one we ever did. Which was way back in June 2020. Well, I guess it was the second one because the first one was a test one with Yaroslav. But yeah, we I don't even think we were live on LinkedIn at that time yet, and we definitely weren't going to. We were just trying it out. So it's really good to have you back to share and to hear what's happened since 2020, which is 2.5 years ago. And as we get into that, before we get into that, should I say, would you mind sharing what it is that is your massive transformative purpose as you've delved into EXO and been a part of the community in many different roles with the folks that are watching? Sure.
And as we know that the MTP is the one required attribute for exponential organizations. So I think it's a super important one. And it also, we talk about it in the framework for companies, but it's also really valuable for individuals to develop their massive transformative purpose. And I will have to say that mine does evolve. And I think that's also good. I revisit it and I, making, wordsmithing and, as you think about the world and what you're working on. So mine has evolved. And right now, my massive transformative purpose is empowered communities living engaged lives. And that does come from, the fact that I love building teams. I love, delivering frameworks. I love sharing knowledge and sharing, coaching and mentoring so that I want to help continue to empower people. And engaged lives to me is around people really being fulfilled in what they're doing, both personally and professionally. And continuing to learn, and very, excited about what they're doing. So I'd love to live in a world where people are empowered and engaged.
Yeah, absolutely. And the EX, I mean, you've been a part of different aspects, as we've said, and immersed, in sort of the model and run different projects. What would you say is, why is the EXO model really important for organizations to understand, especially now?
Well, I think for organizations, if you're just focused on today, then you're behind. And that, the world can be quite daunting. I mean, we've seen the reaction to ChatGPT, and there's the internet's exploding with it, and everybody's questioning jobs and policies at school and education and things like that. So these things shouldn't catch us by surprise. I mean, I think there's going to be, technology is moving super fast. It's converging, but the first step in exponential organizations is to awaken and then go explore. So I think if companies can embrace the model and awake to this new world of what's going on in terms of converging technologies, in terms of new business models, you might be surprised, but you might not have that fearful reaction or put your head in the sand. And I think the exponential organizations model helps companies to do that. It helps bring habits in terms of exploring the world on an ongoing basis, and understanding and looking at these new business models, whether they're in your industry or adjacent or completely different industries, and really just opens your eyes. I also think that it's as you learn to see the world through new eyes, you do look at it in a more abundant way, and you see these opportunities, and you see, that these technologies, while they might make some jobs, industries redundant, they're going to open up so much more. And I think it's a much more positive mindset. It's almost like you don't see the glass half empty, you don't see it half full, you see the glass overflowing. So it's a much richer way to live in terms of being abundant and utilizing the tools out there to tackle and use this new world to make it a better world for everybody.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think Karina, who you mentioned, posted on LinkedIn just the other day about the corporate immune system and a little bit about EXO, and I mean, you've spoken about the corporate immune system too, and it's just something that yes, there's a corporate immune system, but then there's like an innovation immune system within all of us. I mean, even within me, and even within companies that are pretty young, and you'd think, hey, there's no way that would happen, but it doesn't. So I think going back to the EXO model and asking yourself those questions, just are we leveraging all these different attributes which makes us agile, so we can then see how we can leverage the technologies, right? So how would you say you're actually leveraging this sort of thinking in your daily work, which it would be nice to know, like, as you explain that, what is it that you're focusing on right now as well?
So it has been a busy year, and I'd say, not year, the past 12 months, I guess. And, I have done EXO sprints in coaching and training in the workshops, and I'm continuing to do those. I am also doing some more MTP workshops for both organizations and for individuals. And that's been, I really like doing that because it's a very stimulating conversation. Just to bring up what Xavi pointed out, I was involved in the Festival of Consciousness, which of course, you had a huge part in running the Abundance Dome with our partners at Inc Talks. And we're looking forward to the event this year, which will be in June. I think it's June 15th, 16th. And, we had a lot of people from OpenExO. Karina was there presenting, and Eric Patel and Ann Botello. Salim, of course, gave a keynote. Lars did a great talk and workshops on the future of education. And so that was really, a great event, and certainly a different event. I came away with a completely different feeling, a great feeling. And I really encourage, the community to come this year. And it was a very rich experience. And you did a great job, Kevin, up there in the Abundance Dome. There is lots of abundance happening. I'm also, involved with Women for Impact, and that's a group of women that, originated from the OpenExO community. And we really want to, help get more women exposed to exponential organizations thinking, and, help them, whether they're entrepreneurs or whether they're, in companies, to have this innovation thinking become part of that movement within their company. So that's another thing to come and check out, Women for Impact. And, we do also collaborative projects, and it's not only open to women. We also, are happy to have members like you, Kevin, in our group, because we need all of the support. But that's, we'd also like to see, more, even women on boards, and bringing innovation thinking from the women's point of view to boards. And so that's another big initiative. And then also through the OpenExO community, I'm a part of AQAI, which is helping to measure and strengthen adaptability, and making adaptability your superpower. So I find that that's very related to the EXO sprints, where companies are trying to adapt and innovate at the core and disrupt at the edge. I find that, it all starts with the individual, and we know it's a mindset change in the sprint, and it has to, the individuals need to be adaptable, and the world is changing so fast, and how can we understand where our strengths and areas of improvement lie in adaptability, and work on that. So and OpenExO members also have a discount for the adaptability courses as well. So I encourage people to look at that as well, because it's super interesting in helping at the individual and team level.
Absolutely, man. And as you say, at the end of the day, organizations are made up of people, right? And so whilst we know that going through a sprint, people change, if you can get people who already are thinking with that adaptability mindset, I think you can really see, even greater outcomes.
Yep, definitely. And then I'm also working here in Barcelona with Matthias Schneider to get the EXO group going in 2023. So we're having a meetup on February 23rd, and the topic will be on AI and second and third level implications to it. So we're excited about that. So if you're in Barcelona, come by on the 23rd of February, or contact me and I can tell you more information about it. Lots to discuss there.
Yeah, great. I mean, I know that there's lots of people in Barcelona that, that have heard about EXO, at least, either through, the festival, or the work with Accio, or so many different things, and I guess a sneak sort of before announcement for those people who are watching this is that we really do hope that at the Festival of Consciousness this year we get to have a really big group of OpenExO community members. We're going to be looking to put together some OpenExO specific things, and so
great.
hopefully we can get 100 or so folks to Barcelona. I realize that not everyone can go to Barcelona. Maybe we can also do something partially virtual, for those folks who can't make it. But really being able to connect. I think the last time there was a big group connection was in 2018, and so or maybe so it's definitely time. We were going to be planning one. We were planning one when the pandemic came upon us. So but yeah. So and so Anne, I mean, you speak about your MTP and that's that's a very positive MTP, right? I mean, we tend to skew positive, I guess, our community, looking at the future as something that's great. But why are you optimistic about the future? And I guess how do you stay optimistic about the future? This, especially when you got people having that immune response, getting scared. And then, of course, there's negative things happening. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, there are negative things going on, and but I think what is refreshing right now is that I do think a lot of people are searching for their purpose. I'm hearing a lot. I mean, even from people quiet quitting to the great resignation. I mean, they're doing that because they're looking for purpose, and they want that connection. They want to know why they're working so hard and what are they working towards. And so I think just having that realization, having that on the top of mind of that I need to do something meaningful, I think that is a very positive thing. And that's the first step to finding your purpose, is to start looking for it and realize you need one. So I think that first off, we can help with that, whether it's a person or an organization. So I think that's a good thing. And then I do think that while there's a lot of negativity in the news, and maybe I'm more positive because I'm limiting my news time now. And but I really think when you start talking to people, outside of your daily life, you're talking to people who are doing some amazing things, and whether it with technology in the health field and the arts field and in the energy field. So there's just a huge amount of effort by a lot of humanity to improve the world and use technology. So I think exposing yourself to that and just really spending more time on that, you'll see all of these amazing things going on. So I think that's why I'm also optimistic that good things are happening in the world. We just have to get through the clutter of the news headlines to find them.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, Anne, with that, if there's one thing that you would like to share with people who watch this, what is that one thing as we come to a close today?
Well, I might expand that a little to a couple other things, because I can't choose just one. But I first want to, as I was talking about Women for Impact, I'd love to encourage more women to join OpenExO. We need more diversity, and I think it's a great area for women to focus on. as we talk about AI, and it's high in the news today, that I would actually encourage people to go and find a course on ethics in AI, because there's so many different topics, and AI is going to affect all of us. So I think we need to understand this from how it affects human rights all the way down to digital art and music. So I think it just inform yourself about the issues and the topics and the philosophies on the ethics. I think it's super important. I also heard I had a great piece of advice on LinkedIn the other day, and it was to get a reverse mentor. So get somebody as a mentor who's younger than you, and go out and ask them, what are they reading? What are they doing? What are they thinking about? And I thought that was a really great piece of advice. So I'm gonna go find my reverse mentors. So I just wanted to pass that on as well. And then the last thing, I'm really excited about Exponential Organizations 2.0.
Absolutely. And I'm going to end off sharing a little bit about that.
Good.
Anne, it has been such a pleasure chatting to you. It's been a while, actually, since we had a conversation. So probably, well, it was nice to see you in Barcelona, but that was almost 6 months ago now. No, it was more than 6 months ago now. So yeah, but thank you so much for joining. Always a pleasure chatting to you. And yeah, hopefully we see you again soon.
Thanks so much, Kevin. Great to talk with you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So great chatting to Anne. And as Anne said, Exponential Organizations 2.0, it is available for pre-read at openexo.com/book. And that's the only place that you can read it right now. It is a completely updated book. It's a completely new, it's not an edition, it's a completely new book, which really goes into depth into the attributes and a whole lot more. So if you are a member of the OpenExO community and you've been around for a long time and you've gone through the certifications, you should be able to read it right here at this URL. And if you're new, do join and as a basic member, and you can read the book before anyone sees it and before it goes live on Amazon. So with that, remember that if you're in Barcelona in February, I think it was the 26th, 23rd, 28th, I can't remember the date, but I'm sure Anne's gonna put it out there. Do join that group. Being in community is something that's so important. And so with that, we will see you again next week.